Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show helps raise the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts because holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a good person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Man, today we're going to be delving into how to break free from your rubber band of limitations. And when I say your rubber band of limitations, I mean those limiting beliefs that we place on ourselves. I mean those self-imposed glass ceilings that we put on ourselves because we're either too scared to move forward, we don't think we're good enough, or we don't think that maybe you've been programmed to believe that you can't do more or be more. Like, these are all limitations that are involved in our mind that are fake, all limitations that hold us back, all stories and limiting beliefs that fucking don't serve us or the version of us that we're growing into. Right? And so, first and foremost, in order to really observe those limitations, is we need to get clear on the limitations that we're actually placing on ourselves, right? Like, I want you to think what are the stories associated with those limiting beliefs that you have? And when I say limiting beliefs, it could be around anything, right? Limiting belief maybe about your body is that you don't have what it takes to get a six pack. You know, maybe you've never had one in your life, and that's why you don't think that you can get one. Maybe you don't have no friends that have one. Maybe that's why you think you can't get one. What are your limiting beliefs around that story that you're telling yourself? It could be, excuse me, with regards to your being, your meditation, or your spiritual senses. Like, maybe you're telling yourself that, no, I just can't meditate because I just can't be quiet with myself and my thoughts. And what is the limiting belief? Where did that come from? Where did that story really start becoming a part of your story, right? And how can you begin to break that story? Maybe it could be around your relationships. Oh, maybe I don't trust my wife because this and this and this. Oh, you have a story behind that why you don't trust her, right? You have a story why you're acting the way you're acting. You have a story why you're placing that limitation on your relationship, right? Or maybe it's with your finances. Maybe you're like, oh man, I can't make 100 grand this year because it's just because I haven't never done it, right? Or because you're scared, or because you don't want to get uncomfortable, because you don't want to do the fucking work that is required in order to produce $100,000, right? What are the stories associated with the limitations that you're placing on yourself, right? Because that's where it all starts. It's really being able to identify the story that you're placing on the fucking limitation. The reason why I want you to identify that story is because we're about to break through that motherfucker. We're about to punch it right in the face. We're about to break that glass ceiling, right? And so, what are the stories associated with your limiting beliefs, right? And then why? This was important because before we can even break through those limiting beliefs, before we can break through those glass ceilings, you need to establish why do you want to break free from those thought patterns? Why do you want to break free from those chains? Why do you want to break free from not having anymore those limiting beliefs, those limitations that we're placing on ourselves? Why? Right? Maybe because you want to be better. Maybe because you want to expand yourself. Maybe because you want to make more money. Maybe because you want to have a better body. Maybe because you want to be more spiritually connected with God, or with yourself. You want to expand your mental capacity. Maybe you want to raise in your job. Maybe you want to take your relationship to the next level. Maybe you want to be a role model to your kids or to your family. Why is it that you want to break free from those fucking patterns, from those limiting beliefs that you have right now, so that you can become a better man? But until you establish, number one, what are those stories tied to those limiting beliefs? And it's going to take a little bit of getting uncomfortable with yourself to really dig through these stories and not lie to yourself. 100%, you got to be honest with yourself. And then why is it that you want to break free from those fucking stories so that you can create the life that you want? Right? And so after you establish those two, then it's time to establish targets. It's time to establish a game plan so that we can break through those limiting beliefs. Because now we know the stories attached to those limiting beliefs. Excuse me, let me take it a step back. We know the limitations that we've put on ourselves. We've taken account for them. We know the stories why those limitations are taking play in our life. We know why we want to break free from those thought patterns. And then now we're going to establish a target and a game plan of how we're going to break through those fucking limiting beliefs, right? Because you need to know where you want to go in order for you to get wherever you want to go, right? Like you need to have something to measure off so that you can improve, right? You can't improve where you don't measure. And so if you're not really measuring, if you don't put a target into play of where you want to go through, of where you want to break through, of where you want to head, then how the fuck do you know when you get there? How are you gonna know when you're getting to that tipping point, when you're like, when probably you would have quit by now, but because you established that here's where it's gonna get hard and here's where I typically give up, now you know that this is where we fucking go even harder. Now you know that here in this point of whatever the thought pattern that you're putting together is that here's where we go even harder. Here's where we elevate. Here's where we raise the boost. Here's where we step on the gas. Here's where we don't fucking let off because this is where we always let off. This is where we always give up. This is where we always give in, right? And so it's as important, it's fucking critical, I should say, for you to establish that fucking target so that you know when you have fucking surpassed it, so that you know where you're shooting for, so that you know when you fall off course, you can realign yourself to be able to line yourself back up at that target. Right? And so, where do you want to go? Think about that with yourself. You know, we've created the limitations. We've established those limitations that you have for yourself. We've established those stories that you have around those limitations. We've established why you want to break free from those thought patterns and those limiting beliefs. And then we establish a target now of where you want to go and who you want to become. And then now we're going to establish how we're going to get there, right? How are you going to get there? What are you going to do different? Because think about it. If your habits, if your thought patterns, if everything you've been doing up to now could get you the things that you wanted, then don't you think you've already had that shit by now in your life, right? It literally takes you to expand your capacity. You can't solve a problem with the create mindset that created it, right? And so it's a part of evolution. That's a point of fucking evolving, you know. But you need to establish a game plan. Without the game plan, it's going to be very easy to fall off. It's going to be very easy to get distracted. It's going to be very easy to not stick and not stay on track with what you want to do. Is this shit really important to you or not? Right? So how are you going to get there? How, for example, if it's with your body, how are you going to go and get more fit? You know, are you going to show up every single day to do a workout? Are you going to drink more water? Are you going to cut out the sweets? Are you going to fucking have a good diet? Are you going to get more sleep? Are you going to get more strict with yourself? Are you going to get more committed? Right? For your finances, are you going to stack more money? Are you going to stop wasting? Are you going to stop ordering out so much? Are you going to fucking lay off of the Amazon Prime account for so goddamn long? How so many of us seem to have that problem. Like, what are you going to do in order to get there? Because it takes different actions for you to create the results that you're after. It takes a different mindset. It takes a different approach. It takes a more leveled up thinking for you to achieve the things that you want. It's not just going to happen by itself, right? You have to be willing to do the fucking work, right? You got to be willing to do the work required for you to break through and expand your limiting beliefs. You have to fucking be willing to go to war with your fucking self every single fucking day and break through those limiting beliefs, right? And you're going to start chipping at it. And you might not chip at it. You might not break it the first day. You might not break it the second day. And you might not break it the third day. You might not break, guess what? It might not be the first fucking week. But if you keep showing up and you keep chipping away and you keep punching it and you keep hammering it and you keep going at it. And one day, all of a sudden, you're going to be like, yo, fucking shattered that motherfucker. And then you're going to be looking at yourself and you're like, yo, I can't believe it. And you're going to feel this internal spiritual connection and this elevation and this transcendence into a new level. And you're going to be like, yo, this is everything that we're fucking talking about. But if you give up, you're never going to experience that. If you give up, you're never going to give yourself even the slightest fucking chance to elevate, to level up, to grow into the version of you that can achieve the things that you want right now. Fuck your feelings. Do the fucking work. Because so many times we're not going to feel like doing it. So many times you're not going to feel like showing up. So many times you're going to want to take the easy road. But you got to remember, it's doing the fucking work that gets you to the things that you want. There's a reason why not everyone is fucking successful. There's a reason why not everyone is killing it. There's a reason why not everyone is crushing it. Because it takes doing the fucking work. Now, are you willing to do the fucking work? It's really up to you, right? And once you establish to doing the fucking work, you gotta remind yourself and you gotta ingrain into your fucking mind that consistency beats talent when talent is inconsistent. Because I could even give you this example. Like, I'm not that talented, and I'm really not. People think, oh, you're so talented or this and that, and I'm really not. I'm just an average fucking dude. What is different is that I'm consistent and I'm willing to go at it. I fucking set these targets and I'm like, you know what? Might not have the fucking capacity to achieve that right now, but you give me some time and you're gonna see, and I'm gonna fucking build myself and I'm gonna expand and I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna evolve and I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna consistently show up for myself, and you're gonna see how we're gonna get that, and you're gonna expand. You're gonna see how you're growing, and you're gonna see, and then little by little, you're like, yo, I'm fucking more capable. I can take on, and then your goals start to become bigger. You expand your horizon of what before we used to be like, oh, I don't know if I can get that. And I was like, yo, that's it. That's it. Like, level up. Fucking, you start talking to yourself like that, all because you're expanding yourself, all because you're elevating your capacity of what you think you can achieve. Because if you only think that you can achieve, for example, fucking $50,000 worth of a lifestyle, then that's all you're gonna achieve. But if you think that you can achieve, like, and I'll tell you what, back when I thought I could only achieve 50K, I was only making 50K. Back when I thought I could only make 100K, I was only making 100K. Back when I only thought I could make 150, I was only making 150. Back when I could only make 200, I was only making 200. Back when I didn't have the capacity to really think of, can I make $250,000 in a year? Guess what? I wasn't making $250,000 in a year. It wasn't until I got fucking serious and I said, yo, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to expand. I'm going to create this shit. I'm going to make it fucking happen, until I expanded my capacity. And guess what? I fucking made $250,000 in a year. But it all took me expanding my capacity of what I thought possible and then doing the fucking work consistently. Showing up day in, day out when it's not fucking sexy, when you don't want to. It takes that in order for you to build that motherfucker who doesn't give up. So my question for you today is, what limiting belief has been holding you back from taking the actions that you know you need to fucking take? Like here's the thing about being successful, on the successful traits, right? It's all unsexy shit that you gotta do. The reading, the working out, the meditating, the drinking water, the eating right, the showing up early, the leaving late. Like, it's all unsexy shit, and we all know what we need to do, right? But why aren't you doing it? Right? So what is the limiting belief that's been holding you back from taking the actions that you know you need to take? And then my challenge for you really is, what will you do today to break that old pattern that no longer serves the version who are you becoming? Right? So what are you going to do today, right now? No more fucking waiting around to break this fucking pattern, to no longer be in the same state, to no longer hold you back, so that you can fucking create the version of you who you are becoming. Know that there are no limitations to the mind except those that we acknowledge. That was a good quote there by Napoleon Hill. Stop limiting yourself with these fake limitations. Break through the fucking glass ceiling. You have so much more in you. You are so capable of so much more. But you have to fucking believe in yourself. And how do you create that belief system? By showing up and doing the fucking work. You don't have to believe in yourself to show up, but you have to show up for you to start believing in yourself. You got this shit. Let's get to fucking work. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground, and I'm calling all the motorsport enthusiasts who want to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back, and let's become the badass motherfuckers that we're all meant to be. Breaking the stereotype is exactly what we're here to do. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others level up is the mission that God has tasked us with. By any chance you still not haven't subscribed yet, man, go ahead and smash that button so you never miss another episode. And if you connected with today's message, if you resonated with today's message, man, go ahead and do me a favor. Please share this on your story. Make sure that you tag me at Wide Open Randy, because those are the actions that help more gearheads to see and hear about this podcast, and ultimately That's how our community grows. Catch up with you on the next episode. Until then, live your life wide open, my friend. Peace.